Imagine watching the love of your life turn into a monster right before your eyes. And even worse, she rips off your right arm in one brutal strike, with a hole pierced through his chest. This hero was forced to slice apart his own wife. But death wasn't the end. An angel offered him a second chance. Now, armed with an overpowered demonic arm, he's about to obliterate this entire world. But to understand this insane revenge story, we need to go back to the very beginning. The world was basically getting completely clapped. Even the final boss room got absolutely wrecked. And this massive demon general is just sitting there in total disbelief. Because stepping through the smoke is our absolute madman of an MC. The demon cannot believe his stats just got diffed by a mere human. He's mauling that a top-tier commander is getting sent to the lobby. He ults with massive fire, but Roland doesn't even blink. He dashes straight through the flames and slices him to the Shadow Realm. Easiest boss fight ever. GG. But lore drop time. The Demon King is still out there ruining servers. He basically griefed the whole map and farmed everyone's despair for years. Meanwhile, far away in the ultimate starter zone, Okuna Village, the MC's main waifu is just chilling alone in her room until she hears the hype news that her boy is finally back. The whole village is absolutely losing their minds over Roland's grand return. They're treating him like an absolute legend for soloing a demon commander. And our MC just hits them with that humble protagonist smile. But then he spots the only NPC that actually matters to him. He immediately blushes and tells his childhood friend Felicia that he's home. And she hits him with that top tier, must protect waifu smile. The villagers immediately realize they're third wheeling and back off to give them space. Felicia asks why he skipped the massive victory party at the royal capital. Roland laughs and says the king just wanted to trap him with a knight title. And our boy has zero intention of ever leaving his cozy starter village. So he literally dumped all the boring post-game quests onto his party member. In a flashback, his pink-haired teammate told him to treat her sister right, because this OP mage is actually his waifu's sister. Roland had admitted the main quest wasn't over since the Demon King was alive, but she asked if he was really going to make her sister wait forever. She told him to stop grinding and focus on his real-life romance stats. And she straight up called him her future brother-in-law to his face. That clearly gave our boy the final push of courage he needed. Back in the present, he tells Felicia he brought her a special loot drop. She immediately gets flustered and starts blushing super hard. Roland is sweating bullets like he's facing a final boss with 0 HP pots. Felicia teases him, totally expecting a standard cheap souvenir from the capital. But our Chad drops to one knee and finally secures the ultimate waifu. He drops the ultimate line, "Will you marry me?" Felicia is completely stunned as he explains they can't predict tomorrow. Taking out one boss doesn't mean the server is actually safe. She instantly bursts into happy tears as our boy vows to protect her forever. Lore drop. They both lost their parents early and carried each other through the early game. Even in a world full of mobs, she never stopped smiling and buffing everyone's morale. Meanwhile, our MC felt like he only had his combat stats to offer, so he made it his absolute main quest to keep her safe. That was his ultimate vow, a promise sealed with the perfect ring. But peace was never an option. He's back in the forest, absolutely grinding his sword skills. Felicia watches him, but he tells her to go log off and rest. He refuses to stop leveling up because he needs to protect their happy ending, but Felicia just stares at him in silence. She asks him to make one critical promise, to simply live longer than her, because she knows he'd instantly sacrifice his HP to save hers. She explains that her only hope in this trash world is him, and getting a game over without him is completely unacceptable. Our MC gives a Giga Chad smile, saying he won't die because he's her main tank. Felicia just smiles and asks if he actually gets it. He tells her not to worry and to go to bed first while he finishes his dailies. But that line hits her with maximum critical damage. She blushes super hard and reminds him they're literally married now. Our boy's brain finally buffers. He gets flustered and says he'll be right there. She teases the world's strongest swordsman for having absolutely zero romantic riz, and it's honestly the most wholesome moment ever. Our boy is basically living the perfect dream, until a massive aggro spike hits the area. The sky turns blood red as an insane ominous pressure drops from above. MC instantly recognizes the boss music. A high-tier demon floats down out of nowhere. This guy's power level completely eclipses the commander he just deleted. MC doesn't hesitate for a single frame. He charges in to speedrun this fight, but his eyes go wide with absolute panic. The demon doesn't even flinch at his attack, and just casually one-shots our boy straight into the dirt. Our boy is completely stun-locked. The literal final boss just dropped into the starter zone. MC realizes he's basically fighting the server admin. The Demon King actually came to spawn camp him for revenge. But this boss doesn't just want a quick PK. He summons a massive corrupted AoE debuff, a spell specifically designed to mutate humans into twisted mobs. The boss hits him with the most toxic smile ever and launches the nuke straight at MC's house. He dares our boy to try and outrun the attack, because his real goal is to completely corrupt the ultimate waifu. MC's heart completely drops into his stomach. He burns all his stamina dashing back home, pushing his speed stats to the absolute max. He begs the RNG gods that she's still safe. But he's a single frame too late as the curse detonates. He finds his wife standing in the toxic smoke. Our hero is absolutely paralyzed with fear. She softly brings up their final promise and begs him not to forget her as her data permanently corrupts. Our MC's soul basically shatters into pieces. His beloved waifu mutates into a terrifying boss mob. He literally cannot process this massive tragic plot twist. The sweetest smile in the game just got deleted. All those wholesome marriage stats completely gone. He screams her name in absolute agony, but the monster responds with pure feral aggro. She instantly lunges for the execution. The mutated waifu towers over our broken hero, ready to send him straight to the lobby. She swings her massive cursed claws, but MC refuses to just give up. He barely parries the fatal blow. The heavy impact creates a massive shockwave. He desperately tries to trigger a talk, no jutsu event, promising to love her even with this crazy monster debuff. But she spam attacks with absolutely zero cooldowns. He realizes her original AI is completely gone. She's just a mindless, sadistic aggro mob now. So, he decides to perfectly parry everything until her stamina hits 0. MC desperately yells they can still get a happy ending. He promises to find a patch for this cursed debuff. He launches a heavy attack, bounces right off her hitbox, and swears to protect her forever. But she answers with a massive slash, sending the strongest swordsman skidding backward. The Demon King is impressed. Our boy isn't fighting back. He starts toxically taunting MC about reversing the monster transformation. MC tells the admin to shut up and prepares to attack, but his waifu instantly backstabs him. The boss realizes MC might actually solo this entire situation, because our boy's survival stats are just that ridiculously OP. Oh, he casts a massive binding spell, completely crowd-controlling our paralyzed hero. The mutated waifu strikes instantly, smacking his main weapon away, leaving our MC completely disarmed, and a massive critical hit lands. His right arm gets completely deleted. The boss stands over him, but MC grabs his sword offhand. His one-handed stats are too low. She drops an absolute nuke attack. He barely blocks the splash damage. His HP is literally flashing red. His screen is fading to black. The boss charges her final finisher. He almost accepts game over, but her promise kicks in. His eyes snap open because he refuses to abandon her. If he dies, she is stuck in this server alone. He cleanly dodges her massive claw swipe. He will fulfill his vow. He burns his stamina to dash, screaming that he'll never leave her, and lands a desperate zero-distance slash right across the monster's chest. But his offhand DPS was low. The monster turns for the counter. The corrupted waifu grabs him by the throat and absolutely pierces straight through his chest. MC coughs up massive amounts of HP. He collapses, his health bar completely zeroed out. The monster holds his broken body like a trophy, flashing him a completely twisted, sadistic smile. She goes in for the ultimate overkill, but our boy bites down on his blade and unleashes one final, desperate counterslash. The sword bites deep into the boss. A massive critical hit sweeps upward. He literally splits the monster right down the middle. The Demon King absolutely cackles at this tragedy, gloating that the hero just unalived his own wife. MC is completely helpless, bleeding out in the dirt. The admin tells him his account is permanently banned next. He floats up to deliver the final game over strike, and the light completely leaves our hero's eyes. Suddenly, MC spawns in a completely white lobby, wondering if he just got sent to the actual afterlife. He remembers Felicia telling him to survive no matter what. He clenches his fist, realizing he completely failed the quest. He didn't live longer than her like he promised. He's malding because Best Girl deserved a happy ending. But then a glowing feather drops from the sky. An actual top-tier angel descends right behind him. She introduces herself as the angel Miasotis. MC is stunned, but she says they're skipping filler. Before giving him the next main quest, she drops a lore bomb. Felicia was actually happy. She tells our MC that he's way too kind, but admits she isn't kind for what she's demanding next. She offers a free respawn if he deletes the Demon King. The server literally cannot survive with that toxic admin running free. She warns him it's going to be an absolute nightmare grind, and asks if he's ready to queue up for round 2. MC realizes he's getting a second chance to clear the boss. His eyes glow with absolute demonic rage to secure the PK. The angel locks in the ultimate contract and hits him with a massive golden resurrection spell. MC is completely blinded by the respawn light. He starts literally dropping back into the server. The angel promises he can earn his happy ending back, but she hits him with one massive warning. He falls straight through the clouds. Our boy wakes up wondering if the boss finally logged off. But the angel's voice echoes his OP swordsmanship is permanently nerfed. MC's eyes snap wide open. He wakes up right next to his fallen waifu, and it's immediately raining to maximize the emotional damage. He stares at his missing arm, which is now completely corrupted. He realizes he has to grind the rest of the game using the same cursed stats that took his wife. He gently pulls her body close in the cold rain, The absolute pure agony sets in, and our boy just screams his lungs out. The ultimate tragic game over screen. He's basically a broken NPC at this point. He stares at the demonic skin spreading over his right hand. He can't believe he has to solo the hardest quest with this twisted loadout, while leaving his one true love behind. He grits his teeth in absolute despair, and unleashes another heartbreaking roar of pure pain. After the storm clears, he stands outside his ruined starter home, looking at the cursed form of his fallen waifu. Oh, he finally gives her a proper burial. He clutches their golden wedding ring, standing alone at her grave, like a true dark fantasy protagonist. He turns the ring into a necklace, to keep her buff with him forever. He apologizes to her for having to use this cursed demonic power. But, suddenly, his aggro sense tingles. Two aggressive werewolf mobs immediately jump him. He recognizes their torn NPC clothes in absolute horror. The Demon King actually corrupted the entire starter village. He grits his teeth and grips his weapon with the demon hand. He readies his stance to put his old friends out of their misery, but the sword violently rejects his corrupted grip. The holy blade clatters uselessly into the dirt. Our MC is completely stun-locked by this massive debuff. The angel's words finally click in his head. He literally cannot equip sword-class weapons anymore. The werewolf lunges straight for his throat. With his main weapon locked, he has to throw hands. He unleashes a desperate unarmed punch and fires a massive red laser beam. Our boy is totally shocked by this insane new OP stat boost. A second mob goes for the flank. MC quickly swings his new cursed arm and absolutely deletes the mob. Blood splatters as the enemy drops. MC just stares at his glowing new hand in absolute pure disbelief. This demonic right arm has totally broken the game's power scaling, but the sheer mental trauma finally shatters our hero's mind. Suddenly, a surviving NPC spots him. He looks at MC's glowing cursed arm in total terror, thinking their absolute greatest hero got infected by the boss. The villager instantly runs away screaming. MC tries to stop him and explain, but he realizes he basically looks exactly like the enemy mobs now. Oh, our tragic hero decides to completely isolate himself from the server. Back at the local Adventurers Guild, things are looking super grim.
The world chat is going crazy over the starter village raid logs.
Solana overhears the tragic news that her sister's town got completely griefed, and then the absolute worst possible lore drop hits the entire tavern. The king just issued a bounty to team up and hunt down Roland, because everyone assumes the former hero is just another monster now. Fast forward, MC is grinding alone in the middle of nowhere. Our boy is locked in an intense solo training montage, spamming his new demonic arm skills, destroying everything in his path. He's finally getting the hang of his new cursed loadout. He admits the demonic arm basically controls perfectly fine like his old one. But there is one massive unplayable bug. He literally gets heavy PTSD just looking at a sword. He totally refuses to equip the weapon that team killed his own wife. So he's forced to rely entirely on his terrible hand-to-hand stats to fight. Suddenly, a wild attacker ambushes him. A massive kick flies at his head. MC barely blocks the surprise strike. It's actually his former party member and furious sister-in-law, Solana, and she is absolutely raging that he can still speak human words. She powers up her gauntlets, ready to throw hands. MC tries to explain, but she just calls him a monster. She is absolutely mauling right now, screaming that the real Roland would never abandon his waifu. Flashback time. The original party visiting a graveyard.
A little baby, Solana, is crying because her parents got deleted.
So Felicia and Roland immediately stepped up to comfort her. Felicia even promised to be her new mom. But little Solana hits her with the hardest question. Who's gonna be dad? Felicia's brain completely short-circuits. So our Chad of an MC steps in and volunteers. Just kidding. He has zero riz and says to call him Big Brother instead. The little sister instantly locks onto her new family. She really thought their happy little party would last forever. Back in the present, she unleashes her rage. The two of them start trading massive blows. She powers up for another heavy attack. But MC is perfectly parrying every single strike. He's basically in full tank mode, refusing to actually fight back. She hits him with a massive two-handed ultimate move, sending our boy flying across the entire map. He stops the combo with his demonic arm, but she thinks he's a monster possessing Roland's body. MC screams at her to stop, insisting he's still the same guy. She completely refuses to listen and asks the one question he can't answer. Where is her sister? She's absolutely broken, demanding to know why this happened.
Our boy is completely speechless with PTSD.
She even uses his own words against him, saying monsters lie. Convinced a demon is piloting her brother's body, she powers up her gauntlet for the finishing blow and launches herself straight at him, screaming at the monster to stay still.
She unleashes a massive AoE ground pound attack.
The entire landscape gets completely obliterated. Solana stands there, panting, thinking she won. But MC just casually jumped out of the blast zone. He realizes she's too grief-stricken to listen to any logic. And honestly, he can't even blame her for the aggro. Now he has to figure out how to clear this disastrous misunderstanding. Our hero is hit by a massive wave of PTSD. He realizes he can't even blame Solana for her rage, because he absolutely failed his main quest to protect his wife. He decides to just dip without explaining anything, but a monster spawns behind Solana. She's completely distracted. MC screams her name as the orc swings its giant club. She barely registers the incoming attack. The club slams down with massive force, completely one-shotting the poor girl into the dirt. Her HP bar starts flashing red. The orc looms over her for the finisher. MC instantly speed blitzes in front of the attack. He tanks the massive blow with his cursed arm. Solana is completely stunned by his heroic save. MC grabs the mob by the throat. He's absolutely overflowing with pure rage. The server has already taken away his peaceful life. It stole the woman he loved most. It even stole his right arm, and now it wants to take his sister-in-law too. MC has finally had enough of this tragic debuff. He activates his demonic aura and unleashes the most devastating energy beam yet, leaving nothing but a massive crater in the ground. He realizes he can absorb the power of any mob he touches. This is the ultimate forbidden skill of his demonic arm, an absolutely twisted power that only takes from others. Later that night, the two sit at a campfire in total silence. MC finally explains the entire tragic raid event. Solana is completely heartbroken by the whole story. Our boy apologizes for failing to protect her sister. His one job was to be her main tank, and he failed. Solana bursts into tears and apologizes for trying to PK him. She realizes he's the one who's been hit with the most debuffs, but our MC takes all the blame, and he vows to get revenge on the Demon King. He abandons his old sword and his identity as the greatest warrior. He will now hunt the final boss to the ends of the server, and Solana decides to rejoin his party for the final quest. Her words hit him with a critical emotional heal. She grabs his cursed arm and reminds him they're still family. She refuses to let him carry this tragic debuff all alone. MC's heart completely melts with this supportive buff. He finally realizes this revenge quest isn't a solo run anymore. The next day, Solana is fully geared up for their new adventure, but the Demon King is basically a server-hopping admin with no fixed spawn point. Our boy decides to just hunt down all the boss's commanders to bait him out. Solana completely agrees with this massive PK strategy. She pulls out the local bounty board with MC's face at the very top, and points to another high-level raid boss called the Ghost of Maridogo. She suggests taking on this dungeon first to level up. Our boy locks in the new quest, and the new power couple sets off on their journey. The ultimate revenge tour has officially begun. They travel north to the old boss's abandoned castle. Our boy wraps his cursed arm in bandages to avoid aggroing any NPCs. The journey is mostly silent and awkward. Solana tries to break the ice, saying it's been a while since they partied up. MC admits it's been 2 years, and his old raid group was way too OP for her. He didn't want to risk her getting one shot in a high-level dungeon, but she flexes her leveled-up stats, saying she's not a noob anymore. MC remembers how he grinded to be the best swordsman, but still got clapped. Solana reminds him that Felicia was part of their original party too, and she drops the ultimate motivation bomb: the angel promised a wish. She's convinced that if they clear the game, they can wish her sister back. She's basically trying her best to cheer up our broken hero, and it reminds him exactly of her big sister. He gives a genuine smile for the first time in forever. He realizes they can truly carry on Felicia's memory together. His new support character is beaming with a top-tier smile. He thought he could never face anyone again after his tragic failures, but now he vows to protect Solana with his new cursed power. The two finally arrive at the absolutely massive demonic castle. Solana asks if the map has changed since his last solo run. Our MC looks around, completely confused. It's the exact same layout as before. Even the fire on the final boss's throne is still burning bright. He tells Solana to get ready for a surprise boss fight, but a mysterious voice tells them the boss isn't even in the dungeon. A shady little demon boy steps out from the shadows. He casually asks why the world's strongest hero is still alive. He heard our boy got personally spawn-camped by the Demon King. MC instantly launches a demonic punch, but the kid casually dodges it like it's nothing. Solana tries to land a hit, but he dodges her too. This kid's speed stats are completely broken for a low-level mob. The demon boy licks his lips. He's way more interested in Roland's cursed arm. He immediately snitches to the Demon King about this massive plot twist. MC demands to know where the actual boss is. The kid just smugly mocks him for trying to get answers. But since he's feeling generous, he drops one massive lore bomb. The old commander is heading straight for their starter village. Our heroes completely panic, realizing the boss is griefing the survivors again. The kid taunts them, saying he won't stop them if they try to leave. But Solana is ready to throw down right here and now. MC realizes he can't abandon his hometown NPCs, and he vows to personally PK every single demon in the entire server. The Demon Kid is just loving this dramatic turn of events. This new plot twist is way more interesting than the old one. Meanwhile, back at the village, the raid has already started. The old demon commander grabs a random survivor and demands to know where he can find Roland's body. He starts monologuing about his first humiliating defeat, how he was the first commander in 100 years to get clapped by a human. He rages about the absolute dishonor of his loss, but then he starts powering up with a massive massive fire buff, vowing to return from the lobby for an epic rematch. The survivor is completely confused, saying Roland became a monster too. The commander grabs the NPC by the throat, realizing the Demon King completely lied to him. The villager's face goes pale with absolute terror. The boss demands to know every single detail about Roland's new stats, but a calm voice cuts through the chaos. Our boy and his sister-in-law finally arrive on the scene. The boss can't believe his ultimate rival actually respawned. He gloats that he doesn't have to go looking for MC's body anymore, and challenges our hero to a final epic one-on-one duel. Our boy calls the last boss fight a total fluke. The commander complains about all the NPCs getting in the way, but Solana refuses to just stand by and watch. So the boss decides to clear the trash mobs first. He summons an army of fire minions. The entire battlefield is instantly swarming with enemies. He tells Solana she's free to go save the villagers, but that just means a one-on-one duel with our hero. The whole party is furious at these cheap divide and conquer tactics. The boss insists this is a completely fair fight. Solana grits her teeth and decides to take the bait. MC promises to solo the boss while she handles the ads. Solana scoffs, reminding him he already beat this guy once. She promises to clear the minions quickly and come back for the assist. The commander watches her leave with a smug grin. He's ready to finally get his epic rematch, but he notices our boy's new cursed arm. He asks where the legendary sword that clapped him is. MC tells him to just shut up and start the fight. The commander just calls him boring and unleashes the first massive attack. Our boy admits his confidence was just a bluff for Solana, because the boss's power level feels way higher than before. Their roles are completely reversed now, with MC being the underdog. But he has absolutely no intention of losing this time. He prepares to block with his demonic arm, but he decides to parry the massive weapon instead, deflecting the blow with a perfect counter. He realizes his game sense and timing are still totally OP. But the boss calls his new fighting style weak and sends our hero flying with a massive follow-up strike. MC realizes his new melee range is a huge disadvantage. He uses the impact to jump onto a nearby roof. The boss is ready for round 2. Our boy's eyes widen with panic. The commander unleashes a massive fire breath attack. The whole battlefield erupts in a massive explosion. He knows he can't tank a single one of these hits. The massive difference in raw power is totally overwhelming, and the commander starts taunting him for getting nerfed. Our boy completely ignores the trash talk. He knows he can't win a direct DPS battle. The commander launches a massive overhead slam, so MC hits him with the ultimate Uno reverse card. He activates his Cursed Arm's ultimate skill and uses Harvest Arm to literally grab the boss's soul. The commander is completely stunned as his stats get drained. MC uses the new power to land a heavy blow and sends the boss flying across the map. He unleashes a massive red energy blast from his hand. The entire area is covered in smoke and dust, but the skill didn't do any damage. The commander admits the stat drain was surprising, but it's not enough. He's furious that this is the epic rematch he waited for. He starts mocking our boy's new hideous cursed arm. He genuinely can't believe how ugly it looks, but that single line of dialogue completely triggers our hero. The boss is confused by the sudden aggro spike, but then he finally connects the dots. He realizes the arm belonged to MC's lover and calls it a masterpiece. The commander's words completely shatter our boy's last bit of sanity. The boss starts suggesting they turn Solana into a monster too. He just keeps laughing, not realizing he's already lost. He gloats that MC has no chance of winning now, and prepares another massive fire breath attack. But MC dashes straight into the flames. He activates his ultimate skill again. The entire town erupts into a massive pillar of fire. The boss stands there completely unharmed, confident in his absolute victory. But MC completely absorbed the entire flame attack. The commander is stunned by this insane new skill, but he notices our boy is completely battered and bruised. MC just smirks and calls it a minor scratch. The boss gets enraged and swings for the final blow. Our hero admits the damage was actually pretty massive. His entire body is literally on fire from the inside, but now he can launch the boss's own attack right back at him. He unleashes a massive blue flame. Slash. The commander is completely shocked by this insane plot armor. Our boy explains his new rocket punch mechanics to maximize his damage output. The boss stares at his shattered weapon, but he tosses the trash loot aside. He warns MC not to get cocky just because he stole a few low-level buffs. He rages like a completely salty streamer. He activates his second phase, becoming a literal walking volcano of raw power. The sheer AoE pressure from his new aura is absolutely insane. He charges forward, claiming our boy's fire mastery is still 1,000 years too early. But MC counters with blue flames. They clash in a massive DPS check. Solana can only stand back and watch the absolute madness from afar. She quickly realizes this epic boss fight is way beyond her current pay grade. The resulting shockwave from their attacks completely levels the surrounding area. The boss is shocked by his persistence. Oh, he pushes his stats even higher. Our hero finally starts to struggle against the intensely rising heat. His new cursed arm has maxed out fire resistance for defense, but his base human HP is rapidly melting away from the inside. The boss gets totally triggered by our boy constantly stealing his mana. arena. He decides to overload MC with damage. The zone erupts in a massive explosion, sending chunks of the map flying everywhere. The collateral damage is absolutely wiping the remains of the starter village. It's an absolute screaming match of raw, unadulterated shonen anime hype. The commander decides to put every single stat point into one final push. He charges forward like a raid boss, unleashing a massive beam of pure destruction. But our MC just smiles and vows to steal every single drop of his power. The boss is absolutely flabbergasted by this completely impossible defensive counter. MC connects with a brutal one-shot. The commander just stares in pure disbelief as his stolen power finally fades away. His fiery head starts completely cracking apart. The legendary fire boss ironically complains about feeling cold as his HP hits 0 and gets sent to the Shadow Realm. MC inspects his new arm, totally amazed by the permanent executive stat buff. He basically unlocks a massive passive skill for unlimited flame usage. He quickly realizes his brand new grinding strategy is going to be absolutely OP. If he farms all the commanders, he can finally go back and solo the Demon King. Solana runs up, desperately checking if our boy survived the crazy boss phase. She proudly announces she cleared her lane and watched the remaining mobs completely despawn. Solana checks out his massively depleted HP bar. She begs him to evacuate before the server guards arrive. She's terrified. The local NPCs will mistake him for a mob. She realizes his massive trauma is making him play way too recklessly. She vows to be his ultimate pocket support. But a random voice suddenly calls out his name. The surviving town NPCs are staring right at him. Our duo turns around to face the absolute judgment. We literally need an instant replay of this epic W. The fiery boss got completely stat-checked into his stat, complaining about the cold as his HP hit 0, and fading away into absolute pixel dust, while our boy inspects his brand new OP loot, realizing his new mana pool is completely unlimited. He plots to speedrun every single boss on the server, all to honor his fallen, top-tier waifu, before his loyal party member finally catches up, giving her own epic battle phase report, and totally panicking over his critical condition, pleading for them to dodge the approaching guard aggro, knowing his cursed arm is a massive red flag. Seeing exactly how much emotional damage is fueling his grind, she hard commits to keeping his sanity in check. But back in the present, the villagers interrupt the moment, staring down our completely battered hero. The tension in the air is absolutely suffocating. The lead NPC steps forward with a trembling voice. He asks if our boy is actually still a human, admitting they completely bought the Demon King's fake news. They genuinely want to know if their local hero got corrupted. MC looks at his cursed arm with total doubt, remembering all the brutal demonic power he just abused. But one of the villagers completely shuts that down. Solana aggressively defends her brother-in-law's humanity, reminding everyone that MC just solo carried the defense event, stating he's still the undisputed #1 hero of the server. Solana is totally moved by this massive loyalty check. The NPCs completely apologize for ever doubting his alignment. They start showering him with maximum respect and gratitude. Our boy finally realizes he still has a home worth defending. The villagers immediately offer to contact the kingdom's extermination squad. They want to officially clear our boy's name from the server blacklist. But MC calmly declines, knowing how stubborn the kingdom NPCs are. If the villagers defend him, the guards will just think they got brainwashed by demons. He decides it's safer for everyone if he just fast travels out of the starter zone. He looks the surviving NPCs dead in the eye and trusts them to keep the local server safe while he's gone. The villagers enthusiastically vow to hold the line. They beg him to at least pop some health potions before logging out. But our hero is already walking away into the sunset, promising that their party of 3 will definitely return one day. But suddenly, the boss's loot drops start glowing with a shady purple aura. Dark magic threads instantly connect across the entire battlefield. MC's aggro spikes as he recognizes the magical signature. A literal ghost child spawns right in the middle of the crater. The creepy kid smirks, revealing this is just a hologram projection. His main body is completely safe in another zone. He casually confirms the old fire boss got completely clapped and drops a massive lore bomb. Necromancy only works once per corpse anyway. Our boy demands to know who this little troll actually is, realizing he's definitely not just some low-level mob. The kid proudly introduces himself as Crones. He completely lied about being a random, helpless demon child. He's actually the brand new executive replacing the boss MC just deleted, and a high necromancer. He mocks MC's revenge quest, saying the Demon King literally doesn't care about losing executives. But since our boy cleared the raid, he offers a special reward. MC completely braces himself for a trap. Crones explains that demons absolutely feed on human despair, and a high-level player like MC is a total feast. He looks right at Solana, completely hyping himself up over the idea of MC losing another waifu. Solana absolutely refuses to be treated like a helpless NPC. Crones just laughs at her fiery spirit, claiming that true despair can only spawn if there's hope first. He smugly challenges them to try and beat his upcoming dungeon, and instantly logs out in a flash of purple pixels, leaving our duo completely stunned in the empty crater. MC knows tracking his main body right now is completely impossible, but he realizes if they keep respawning executives, The grind will literally never end. He has no choice but to completely wipe the entire demon faction off the map. But Solana realizes something massive. If necromancy is real, they can totally revive her sister. Our boy just sweats, totally baffled by her massive leap in logic, but he just smiles and admits her pure hopium is actually top tier. She completely locks in on the brand new main quest objective, but MC reminds her they seriously need to pop some health potions first, and then she casually offers to power level our veteran hero. She literally tells the guy who just soloed an executive that he has a massive skill issue, and proudly declares she's going to be his brand new combat sensei.